Effie, we are so excited to have you here today. How are you feeling?
I'm good, thank you. Very
Uh,
happy to be here today.
Amazing. So, Effie, pretend we're all kindergartners and we've never heard of breathwork ever before. So, how would you explain it to
Okay.
us?
So basically, actually, a lot of people who come join breathwork for the first time, they actually think that they're coming to a more kind of like a yoga restorative, kind of like easy breathing, which it's really not. So the breathwork modality that I work with people and teach in my lessons are very, very intense, very intentional. And basically, we go through different breathing techniques, very deep breathing, both inhale and exhales, that allow us to kind of like get out of the mind and really almost also have an outer body experience. It is very intense, and people experience really unique things for them, and every session is different. So you can either go from feeling a lot of emotions to falling asleep to your body gets numb, or some pain actually might come up in certain parts of your body. Basically, what this brings up is it allows to bring up to the surface any emotional pain, physical pain, trauma, anything that you've been, pushing and kind of like staying away from, not being aware that you've been hiding, and it all comes up to the surface. The more you focus on the breathing and less in be able to get out of the mind, the more things will start to come up and show up for you. And I've had people who shake and scream and sometimes even cry in sessions, if they're really going all in. But the beautiful part is that what we're doing is we're letting go of stagnant energy through breath work and
Mm.
allowing through the breath to really clear out a lot of emotions that are stored within, and to clear, and release all that stagnant energy, a lot of
How,
trauma.
I was going to say, I would love to know how did you come upon breathwork, one, and how has it changed your life?
Yeah, so actually the reason I chose breathwork as to become a facilitator myself is because it really changed for me a lot in my life. I'm not just saying it, it's really what it did. I was on my own healing journey, and I basically started doing certain things in my life, and I wasn't even aware that they're all somatic therapy. And when I started realizing that breath work and intuitive movement and dance and meditation, they're all somatic experiences. That's what led me to basically become a somatic therapy coach myself and focus on breath work. But I came across elemental breath work, which is the modality that I, was experiencing and also decided to teach. Uh, it was almost 2 years ago. I just went to a retreat and somebody was giving like a little bit of a sample of it. It wasn't even like the full session. And I was really intrigued by that. And breathwork really, what it did for me is it allowed me to fall in love with myself all over again, realizing and coming. There's a deeper component of guided meditation, of an inner child guided meditation that brings you closer to parts of you that you've neglected, and it allows you to find that younger version of you that is out there feeling lonely or scared or hurt, and just to reach out. And when you really go deep within breath work and then you bring in that guided meditation, it's just powerful. It's really, really powerful.
It sounds incredible. So, what would you say are the things in your life that you've noticed that's different once you started incorporating it?
So really, I've released so much stagnant energy. I've released a lot of trauma from my childhood. I've been through a lot, like all of us, everybody in their own unique story. And but mainly I felt how also the ripple effect that things changed with me, that other people were noticing, whether it was my kids or even my ex-husband. Um, the more I was able to release through breath work, the more I've started to change. I've started to accept myself differently, to show up for myself differently, to also be able to not be as reactive as I used to be. I remember after the first couple
Mm.
of months, the first thing that my kids told me was, "Mommy, we've noticed that you're not reacting anymore as you used to. Rather, you're responding as opposed to reacting." And that's when I knew that when I heard that from my kids, that was a huge thing for me, and I knew that I'm onto something here, and I started asking people to join me to go to sessions where and nobody really wanted to come. Like they're like, "What are you doing? You're crying. What are you doing there?" Like I guess I scared them with my
Mm,
description, and then I decided to become a facilitator myself because I
right.
think that people are not aware, not enough aware of what breath work can do for you.
Right. I mean, that sounds absolutely incredible. So I was going to say, what would you just brought me to, to the question that was lingering. It's like, so what would be the misconceptions that are like floating around about breath work that you're like, no, 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 let me go debunk that?
Yes, a few things. One, you're not just coming there to lie down and just to breathe calmly. You're coming to do breath work. There is a meaning to the word. We're working on our breathing, and we're doing it very deep and very intentional. I always ask
Mm,
my participants to respect their body, obviously. And if I'm pushing you to do more than you can, then you listen and respect your body. But at the
mhm,
same time, we're not here to fall asleep. We're here to work.
mm,
And some people say at the end of a session, they're so on one hand like tired but also relaxed and that
mm,
they feel like they did a whole workout. The other thing is people think that they will come to breath work or any other modality for that matter, whether it's Reiki or other things, and they think that they're going to do a session or two and all their trouble will go away. And that's really not what it
mm.
is. I don't consider myself a healer. I believe that I'm here to help you heal on your own journey. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to support you. But you're doing your own healing with breath work. And that's the beauty of it.
Right. Like, which is why I use the word facilitator, right? It's like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, I will hold your hand and I will
I will
guide
guide
you,
you.
but you're still doing that hard breathing. That's on you.
It's the breathing, it's being able to really connect with your body and
Mhm,
allow yourself to feel. You're showing up, you're taking up space in this world by showing up for yourself this way. And it's hard. It's really not that simple. And when people show up again and again, I'm like, these are people who are ready to do the work. And then I
right.
combine, aside from the group sessions that I do, I hold also one-on-one sessions for people who are ready to dive deeper. And I
Mhm.
combine that with shadow work.
I was
And
gonna
that's a
say, anyone in the chat, if you have done breath work before, like, I'd love to know how many of you have heard of it or have done it, and any of you was like, I'm excited. What is going to happen? Like,
yeah,
it shed
yeah.
some old skin. Amazing. What was I going to say? So, what is, I guess, mm, how would I word this? What was your favorite session with a client that you like noticed like a very, very stark difference from before they did breath work? That you're like, oh yes,
Yeah.
poster person for doing the work.
It's actually a very, very, kind of like a private situation, so I'll try to explain it without going into details, but it's a
Of
client
course.
of mine who lost a family member,
Mm-hmm.
and they were holding on to a lot of, anger, and
Mm-hmm.
what we did is we worked on forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're working one-on-one, it doesn't have to be general for the whole class, you can allow yourself to, like I said, dive deeper.
Mm,
And basically after going really really deep within our breathing and allowing ourselves to go deep into the emotions and dig, we held a forgiveness ceremony through guided meditation and through bringing that person, my client, in the session to allow her in a safe space to bring up whatever that she needed to forgive that person.
mm-hmm.
And it was so powerful and it was so painful, and sometimes I have to say as a facilitator, you're there to hold space and to make them feel safe, but you can't help not feeling the pain. I have sessions where like I feel that I'm like I'm ready this close to cry with them. um it's a gift to be able to help people on their healing journey. So
That.
this client was able to not only really forgive and move on for herself, but also for her family members' soul to be able to let them go.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That's
really, really magical.
I was going to say, all of this sounds incredible. Now, what we would like to know is how can we infuse this with our human design? So I sent you some prompts. So which
Hmm.
one of them spoke to you and explain to us why that was the one that resonated with you before we have you guide us on a breathwork journey.
So I chose the manifesting generator, right? And from there, um, like there's more than one, right? So like
Yes.
trying to force things
Hmm.
and people pleasing, which is huge. It was huge for me, and it through breath work, I was able to understand. I was able to really dive deep into that younger child within me and understand why I was so, conditioned to these situations in my life. And you know, it's really hard to explain it without giving it all away. But basically, yeah, it's a lot that we go in our childhood that we carry on and we're conditioned in certain ways. And the beautiful thing that it within breath work and that guided meditation at the end really allows you to uh, connect with that younger version, understand them, hold them, feel them, forgive, and move on.
Incredible. So
Yeah.
the ones that you chose was the people pleasing and trying to force things.
Yeah.
As someone who isn't a manifesting generator, I can tell you I definitely have bouts of that all the time. I'm sure many of you in the chat are like, "Yes, please. How do we stop doing that?" So,
Having the need to control and force certain things, like it's yeah, that's huge all my life. And it's really
so
things that really changed within me and allowed me
mm,
to shift and to evolve through this work.
amazing. So, I am going to now give the floor to Effie to show us her magic on how we can stop people pleasing and trying to force things. So, Effie, enjoy guiding us. We're super excited.
Thank you, thank you.